Transporter 3. Transporting the same old bullshit as he did in the last two movies.
Los Transportes Tres.
Damn, man. I mean, look, if you saw the first movie, you've seen this movie.
Well, kind of. The thing is this movie is the inverse of the first movie. They kind of they took the main plot of the first movie and they changed it around a bit. So it's more of the same, but it's got a different feel to it.
See,
wait, what?
Because you know what I saw? I saw him get a call from a client that's going to screw him over. He beats up a bunch of guys, does impossible shit with his car, and then hooks up with a girl and waits to do it again for the next movie. And that's what I saw in the last two movies. I'm like, really? Seriously? If you're going to make a third one, give me something different.
You know, it should be him like talking to that client in the beginning, going like, I got to ask before I take this job. Are you going to screw me over?
Exactly. Are you going to try to
expect
kill
you to
me?
tell me the truth, but I just got to ask for my own records.
Now, in this particular
there's
movie,
a 10% discount if you don't screw me over.
No, see, actually, that's kind of like what I dug about this movie was the fact that he knew this guy was going to screw him over, and he said, no, let me give you the name of someone else. And someone else does the job and fucks it up. So they grab him and put a bomb around his wrist and say, you're doing the fucking job. He doesn't have a choice. This isn't him taking a job. He knows these guys are going to fuck him over. He's like, fuck that noise.
And see, that makes him an asshole because he's like saying, oh, okay, you're going to try to kill me. You know what? Let me give you the number of a friend of mine who will do this. And they strap his friend into a car with a bomb.
He totally Corey Coleman's it. I mean, it's literally, it's
Yeah.
like, no, I won't take that job, but let me give you the name of a friend who will.
Hey, exactly, man. Except
I got my last couple jobs that way.
Except I never strapped somebody to a bomb and made them do it. At least they weren't going to die from the job I gave them. No. Hey, listen, I like this character. Again, we have Jason Statham
as Frank
Martin, who is the driver. He takes jobs and he doesn't ask any questions, even though in every movie he ends up asking a question like, who is this? Who am I working with? But his rule is to just take the job, ask no questions, transport whatever people want, and wait for the next job. This time he's transporting this girl who is the kidnapped daughter of the head of the Environmental Protection Agency for the Ukraine. This time, however, Frank gets screwed over by a client who, in order to make sure the job is done, straps a bomb onto Frank's wrist that will explode if he goes 75 feet beyond the car. He's in a lot of danger. He beats up a bunch of guys. And at the end of the movie, he gets a girl and gets to wear that nice suit for the next movie.
All right. Let's rewind it to the beginning still with the proper introductions.
What happened to the rule of no name?
I'm suspending that rule for the moment. I'm Frank Martin. And your name is?
What matters my name?
We're sitting here in a car with two exploding bracelets on our wrists going to the same place. I would call that being in the same situation.
It's not. They are going to kill you.
I'm aware of that. And in all probability, after they kill me, you're next on the list. Now, if I'm going to keep that from happening, I'm going to need a little help.
I mean, I guess if you know you're going to get the girl in a nice suit, it's worth it. But it just seems like whenever you have a profession where it's we ask no questions, you're opening yourself to being screwed over. It's like, hey, it's like putting a screw me sign on your back.
Now, I personally think you're looking at the wrong things about this movie. I think there are plenty of complaints here. I'm not saying this is a perfect movie. I'm not in love with this movie at all. I think it's a weaker sequel, although it's better than the second one. The second one just said, the laws of physics, what are those? Hey, here's an idea. Let's have a scene in which we have to jump a car and flip it and use a dangling crane hook to disarm the bomb underneath the car. And you, at that point in the movie, you're just like, oh, fuck this movie. This isn't even trying. This movie throws all that out and it gets back to the laws of physics that were in the first film, which still the laws of physics don't exactly apply, but they're not stretching them so far as to be completely goddamn ridiculous.
Now, wasn't the same director on the first two movies?
No. The first, I forget who directed the first one.
As a matter of fact, the guy who directed the second one, isn't he the guy that directed the Hulk?
Yeah, Lettier. He directed the Hulk, but he also directed Danny the Dog, a.k.a.
Unleashed.
Unleashed.
That's my favorite karate movie.
That was what was so broke my heart about that film. Is like he made this really awesome film and then turned around and made Transporter 2.
Yeah.
Which is just totally shitty.
Luc Besson has been involved with all three of these.
He's written all three.
He's written, yeah. If you call it writing.
This is his American version of the Taxi, which is the series that he wrote over in France. That was
they had a remake here with Queen Latifah.
Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
How many times are we gonna get this remake?
And
what about those BMW commercials?
And they're all comedies. Yeah, I mean, look, physics is used very loosely in here.
Yes,
because I mean, he's still. I want them to make a Transporter 4, and I want Frank Martin to get in the middle of a breakdancing group and breakdance with his car because he does. I mean, in this movie, he's able to like control it to where he can like ride on two wheels on the side and just go between two trucks.
Sure.
I mean, and not only that, but we learned that he's not only anything with wheels. He's great at.
So he hops on a tricycle.
He gets on a little mini bike and he's pretty much doing extreme sports on it. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's Frank Martin.
I mean,
That's who he is.
all that was missing was him stopping and like pointing at the camera with a can of Mountain Dew. And I was like, might as well have done that at this point.
You know, the thing is, though, the real problem with this movie is while there's a lot of great action sequences in here, not a single one of the action sequences live up to the originality of the first film. And there aren't as many action sequences as the first film, which is what really got me. This one's just a little boring. I mean, it's a cool film, but especially just having watched Quantum of Solace, which was bam, 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 this film just felt a little dull at times.
Yeah. I'm just really, look, I know you criticize me for like looking at things too logical, but I think after people know the reputation that this guy has, because we're all waiting for that moment where Frank Martin walks into the room with a bunch of big guys and they do something to him. He's like, guys, you don't want to do that. I'll give you 3 seconds to get your hand off me. And we know he's going to kick ass. This guy, and not only has he done it in 2 other movies, but in this movie, he kind of beats up the same people twice. I would think that after that, you would send your henchmen out with guns. or if you don't want to kill him, at least get a taser, because everybody, they stand back and they're just watching him beat people's ass, and then they come out and like, oh, let me show you my fucking kick and move right here, and then they get their ass beat too.
You know what I loved about that, though, is the fact that they were all being led by this like black henchman that was always smart enough. Once everyone was getting their asses beat, he was just like, I'm going to slip out the door and bring more later.
That is true.
He never gets to beat the ass of that guy. He's like the main henchman, and every time he watches his guys get beaten, he's like, all right, I'm out of here.
That is true. He would like slip out in the shadow. He'd always walk backwards too. Like but yeah, look, it's not that I totally hate this movie. I thought the villain in this movie was cool, who was played by this actor, Robert Knepper, who I thought he did very well. I think it's perfect as one of those movies that you would see. Coles and I always joking. It's one of those, your daddy says, come here movie. Your daddy's sitting there drunk late at night and he's like, boy, come up here and look at this movie. This is crazy. And you watch it with him and it makes no sense, but it's fun to watch at midnight with somebody else to make fun of, preferably drunk.
I saw this with the worst audience conditions known to man. I showed up a little late, not really late, a little late, and had to sit in the press row. And, of course, they only marked half a press row for us because they're like, oh, everyone else is at Australia. So to the side of me, I'm literally sitting next to the family that has two 2 and 3-year-old kids that are screaming through the whole movie. In front of me is this redneck woman who weighs about 400 pounds, who is the most easily amused person I've ever seen. A shiny object would come up and she'd be hypnotized. And every time Frank Martin would do something incredible or come up with a brilliant idea to take his car that's underwater and fill, little bags with air and rise it up and drive it off. She would applaud like he'd actually thought up of it himself.
Oh, was she the ringleader for that? Because people were applauding at some of the most stupid parts of the movie.
And then behind me is a woman who swooned every time he showed up and took his shirt off. And there's that strip tease sequence where he's like strip karate fighting, which is one of the most retarded things. At first it's like kind of cool because he's, what he's doing is he's using his various articles of clothing as weapons because he's got nothing to fight these guys with. And then you realize, wait, motherfucker's half naked. This is kind of silly. And she's in the back going, oh, baby. Oh, and I'm just like, I'm trying to watch a goddamn movie.
Okay, so it sounds like all you were missing was the guy who keeps digging his hands into a bag of Fritos and he's smuggling it that's super loud. And then another couple that's narrating it like a DVD commentary throughout the movie.
Oh, no, those people were sitting over to the other side of me. They were half as annoying as Redneck Woman and Swooning Woman. And so that was kind of rough to begin with, but those people love the hell out of this movie. This is a mindless action film, and I thought it was a fun mindless action film. I think it's worth checking out. I give it a low matinee. I think if you like the original Transporter, it's worth paying matinee prices to go and sit down and watch this again, but it's not a full price movie. It's nowhere near as good as the first one. It's just better than the second one, which was a total piece of shit.
There was a moment in the movie where Frank Martin stands on a bridge and looks at a train going by, and he calculates in his mind. He's doing mathematics, and finally gets in the car and jumps off and lands on the train. The train doesn't buckle or fly off. He doesn't land just kind of awkward and slide off. He lands perfectly on top of it. I think there's even one point where he drives the car through the train. I'm just like, there's no way I'd pay any money to see this shit. So if we had a cable, I would give it that. But I don't think it's a total waste. So I would definitely recommend this as a rental to somebody. And women love this shit. This is the perfect action movie for women because they love for Jason Statham to take his shirt off, and he does it. I mean, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's got a girl in the back seat, and he act like he's using his clothes as a weapon. He could use anything, but he knows he's taking that shirt off, winking at that girl. Watch this, baby. And he uses his jacket to like do that shit, and his muscles are flowing. He got his abs and shit. I'm like, come on, man. I would do it too if I could do that shit, but
you know, there's something that you guys have been complaining about lately that came up in this film, and this was literally the breaking point for me. I am sick to death of them putting really hot women in these movies with these action heroes, and the women throwing themselves at the man, and the man being, no, baby, I'm too cool for that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is literally to where she has this forced seduction scene that you're just like, can we get back to driving fast and getting shot at, please? Because this shit is dull.
oh yeah, for a movie it's dull. But as a player, that's genius. He did the right thing. I mean, you don't jump into that shit too quick. You want her to, you make her want it.
I'm thinking these guys are like Bruce Leroy. Like, yeah, he's a badass when he's actually doing the kung fu. But outside of that, he's pretty much a nerd who does not know how to operate around women at all.
Did you just name check The Last Dragon?
Yes, I did.
Show enough.
And one last thing I'd like to mention is the chick in this movie, Natalia Rudakova. Is she Russian girl?
I don't know. She's like Charlie Brown's, the love of his life, the redheaded girl. The girl's got so many freckles.
That's what I was going to say.
She couldn't even fit them on her face. They like crawl down onto her lips. It's
Yeah,
really freaky.
Is it like she's so freckly, she looks like she's dark skinned?
Almost.
Like they all meld together as that kind of a complexion.
The girl is hot, got a body on her, great eyes, great hair, nice lips, but on the big screen, she looks like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show because she's got so many freckles on her face. When her face is like 70 feet tall, I connected the dots and made a cat on her face watching that.
Ginger to the max.
Really, you were thinking about pussy that whole time.
Well, that too. Hey, I didn't say I wouldn't do her. I just said I connected the dots, which I probably would have done if I was doing her too. Anyway, so, but no, she's hot. I think you'll see the girl in a lot of other things. But
So what's with the influx of all these Russian chicks all of a sudden?
Russian chicks are hot, and you can order them and make them do whatever you want to do. So,
Yeah, hell, after we're done with the review, I'll order you one.
exactly. You put her in a movie.
Just give me your credit card number and damn, we'll have you a Russian Hummer by Tuesday.
It has nothing to do with the review, but if we put it up, it'll be good for audio. I was working with this guy, and he was telling me about his wife, and he showed me a picture of her, and I said, wow, she's hot, man. I said, where did you two meet? And he's like, we met at the airport. And I was like, really? What was the story? Did you two like, was she meeting some friends there and you meeting a family there or something? And you two just kind of glanced eyes and met, and people behind me like, Corey. And I was like, no, this is a great story here. I love romantic stories. Corey. It was just like, and the guy, you could tell he was just kind of like, yeah, well, we're going to go to lunch now. And I was like, you want me to go? And he's like, no, it's okay. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to meet somebody. And when he left the room, they're like, hey, dumbass. It's a mail order bride that he had. It's like what he meant by the airport.
Okay, you're not the dumbass, all right? That guy's let me give you a little tip to any of you out there that's going to order a Russian bride. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, if you got the money and you got you can't get a normal date and you want a Russian girl, and honestly, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
I mean, hold on to the receipt.
Hold on. Watch The Birthday Girl first.
Yes, watch
Birthday
Birthday
Girl. But here is the answer. How did you guys meet? Believe it or not, internet dating.
Yeah.
You would have never asked a fucking question. You would have said, you know what? Oh, right on. I've heard other people who have met that way. And you're not lying. And when they find out that she's right, oh, you met internet dating online through Russia. Wow. And most people aren't going to put it together. The few people that will go home and be, do you think she's an internet bride? I don't know, honey, but don't bring it up because that would be embarrassing. And, and that's where it would go. But most people... No, internet dating. That's what you call it, okay? Yeah. Don't be a dumbass and say, oh, we met at the airport. Well, how does that work?
Shit, if he had told me, wouldn't have been embarrassed. I'm like, give me the address. I want to get one too. Let's hang out.
Yeah,
Let's
people are
double
funny.
date.
I mean, yeah, you're not the dumbass.
No.
Well, they made me feel like it. I think that guy's divorced anyway now.
Of course. Every guy I've known who's done that has gotten divorced.
I think he lost a lot of shit too. Like,
Yeah, that too.
As in, like, he woke up and it was gone. So fuck him.